doing, Kevin? Welcome to the show.
I'm well.
What's up, Hump?
How's everybody doing tonight? Oh my
Hi.
God. Instagram, what a night.
I'm gonna have to catch the replay. You know how that goes.
Oh yeah. Young World Star. We're talking about submission, and I'm always fascinated. The most Christian people seem to have such a problem with the term submission, and I define it as very simply this: respectful cooperation. And oftentimes I hear this in our community, that I'll submit to a man who is A, B, or C. I'll submit to a man who is my man. I'll submit to this. But here's the issue with that. The only group of women who have conditional submission, but you want holistic protection. You're supposed to submit to the authority of your man individually, true. But what about the men of your group that are supposed to be the ones that actually you're covering? And what I find is most women, really, when it gets right down to it, for whatever reason, they don't trust that men can do the job better than they can. And I'm always fascinated. Is my screen frozen?
Yes, it's frozen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm always fascinated that it always seems to be that way. And I wonder. Yeah, let me turn that off. If we don't expect the right to lead you other than your man, how do we ever expect to become a competitive group of people?
Do you think that women are thinking singularly and not thinking as a group, and maybe that's one of the things that's affecting the way in which they move as far as that conditional? Because I'm more in line with what very early in the show, it was a debate about why is it conditional, and at what point do you start to see submission as an option? Is it based off of when you get married? Is it based off of when you first start interacting with a man in courtship, or is it just based off of how you see things in general as far as your alignment with men in general, right? Do you see that as more of an issue because women see submission singularly tied to a man that she's going to be in a relationship or marry, or is that just conditioned for them not to be submissive in a general sense?
Once again, I think it's just one of those talking points of a man has to know how to lead, and if he's not given proper leadership, then I'm not going to submit. Once again, why be with somebody that you don't want to submit to? And I've asked that question over and over. Why be in a relationship? Why get married to someone that you're not going to submit to? And this has been a big thing about videos that I do reactions to, and it's just curious. I just want to know, why be with somebody that you feel that is inferior to you, that may not have good leadership qualities, may not be moving the family or the family unit in the right direction, but you still choose to be with him? Why? Out of familiarity? Or is it just that this person doesn't force you to level up? Just a question.
I think that our women see submission tied to sex. They see submission our submission tied to sex. They don't see submission tied to the overall image of the men. I mean, so if I'm, in our community, the overall, I'll just say the largest determining factor whether or not a black woman's going to listen to you is whether or not she's attracted to you. If she wouldn't screw you, she wouldn't have sex with you, she ain't going to really value much what you got to say. It's very primitive. So, and that
I think that attraction thing is it's not really tied to, because many things makes a man attractive or whatever, but women are attracted to bums, but she'll still submit to a bum at the end of the day, and that's just one of those things. And I can agree with Kevin on that. I'm sorry if I'm confusing you guys with this, but yeah, it is tied to whether she's attracted to you or not. If you're just a beta male provider or you're a yes man, she loses all attraction for you, and we all know this, guys.
It's all the way out through things. My show has proven that. If nothing else, that the men that the women want, they'll be more apt to listen to them. But here's the problem. You can be married to your man, and he can be alpha as fuck. He can be alpha, but he is still one man. He is not the police force, the fire department. He's not the surgeon. He's not the dentist. He's not the electrician. See, so when people submit conditionally, singularly, that's not a community. And what benefit?
And once again, it goes with the herd mentality. You know, you'll hear certain women say, well, that couldn't be me. I couldn't do the same thing you're doing. And women tend to be followers in that aspect. If they see that their girlfriend is getting some certain results by being submissive overall, not to say it's always going to be like that, but women who hang together tend to do the same things in terms of the men they choose, spouses, things like that. So it's just one of those things that is more of a community thing. It can't be a singular thing where one person is doing it. And how you lead your family or how you are submissive to your husband is how you're going to teach your children and rear your children, for that matter.
And what incentive does it give the other 9 men if only one's going to get respect and submission, supposedly, and the rest are just going to get mild disdain or conditional? Because here's the thing: we're expected to be. Let's be honest. We're expected to be have a certain level of manhood for women across the board. If something happens and we're on a boat, women and children first, right? It didn't say husbands, and they'll say women and children first. And the single man, you can go. Men are still expected to do their job, and we have removed what women are expected to do for their community. What do black women owe the black community?
What are your thoughts, Kevin, on dating with intent to marry? Like, what are your thoughts on both from a men's perspective and from a woman's perspective?
Okay, well, the provision, I'll say from a woman's perspective, from the provision that she's already a wife, that's the purpose. I had this conversation earlier that dating for women and men are 2 different outcomes. Women have a much shorter clock to get the major pieces of their life together. And because of how the world is, women are not afforded the same amount of opportunities like men. You got to pick sooner. Right. So dating with intent to marry is far more important for women because they pay a higher price, in the sense of, once a woman has children and things like that, it can substantially impact her overall sexual marketplace value. With men, it's different because I firmly believe, and today, between the ages of 18 and 30, it is more the exception than the rule that the average man is really ready to take on the responsibility of leadership, headship, and husband.
Right.
From even if
unless you come from and even that is being indoctrinated. If you come from a religious background or from a religious family, that's something that is going to be encouraged to get married early, and that's where these exceptions come in at. But a man really from 18 to 30 really isn't ready to take on that responsibility as far as, raising children, being that leader being that that patriarch of the family, that that security that women are looking for, and women don't even know that at an early age. It takes age and experience to come to this realization as well, and that's why once again fathers are so important to both men and to both sons and daughters when raising them.
It's and it's not even a matter of necessarily money, because we have delayed adulthood maturation so much that I feel bad when I see a lot of young men trying to marry young women, because I'm like, unless I talk to the young guy, I'm like, and understand where his head is at, how's this thing supposed to work?
And to piggyback off what Kevin is saying, basically, you really need to know where a young man's head is at, and if he's told or encouraged to do certain things, he's going to follow up on that, even though he may have an inclination that I may not be ready to take on such a responsibility at the end of the day. And this is true facts. So we really need to be teaching our sons and our daughters, that they should really discover themselves first and be secure in what it is that they want out of life and what they should be looking for in a wife and or husband. And if that's something that they really want, that's what we really should be teaching our children and preparing them for. So with that being said, let me know you guys' thoughts. Make sure you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit me up on all social media platforms. Check me out on jrosswriting.com. If you want to book a one-on-one with yours truly, hit me up on Calendly. All the links are in the description. And with that being said, I will catch you guys on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.